Really got to try on that left-hand side. What happened?
But I've gone up and over and bloody head over biscuit. It wasn't enough stability there for myself, but no, I was busting for a bit of meat this game. It didn't seem to work out.
Hello, cheers, and welcome to the Scrum of the Earth, the podcast for news, reviews, great interviews, and so much more, all about the world of rugby. My name is David Lawrence. I'm an American rugby fan who follows the game wherever I can find it all over the globe. We're part of the Sports Social Network, and you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your usual places. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe, and if you could tell a friend, it would really help to grow the show. So, starting as always with our current updates, the obvious update is once again our little format tweak for this show. This is your combined Premiership and Top 14 episode covering the penultimate round in England and who knows what round in France. We'll also be looking ahead at what's to come and sort of wildly speculate about playoff scenarios. So getting right into our reviews then, we're going to start in England for the Premiership on Friday. Sale beat the Bristol Bears 41-27. The irony being both teams scored 5 tries. Fly half George Ford, he was instrumental for Sale, contributing 16 points through perfect kicking performance, 5 conversions and 2 penalties. Despite being well beaten for much of the contest, Bristol Bears mounted a strong late comeback, securing a valuable bonus point from the match. Big Bill Mata, he continued his strong form towards the end of the season, getting him on the score sheet with a try from a driving maul, as well as making some of his trademark huge tackles. It's really good to see him putting together a string of great showings. This one had serious playoff implications, but more on that a little later. Next up, it was lowly Newcastle, losing again, this time to Gloucester 12-26. Newcastle started strongly and took an early lead through a try from Ben Stevenson. However, Gloucester quickly seized control, particularly during a period when Newcastle suffered 2 quick yellow cards, reducing them to 13 players. The Cherry and Whites capitalized on their numerical advantage, scoring 3 tries in quick succession before halftime. These came from Chris Harris, a penalty try following a collapsed maul, and a fantastic run from Seb Atkinson from halfway. All that gave Gloucester a significant 5-21 lead at the break, and you know what? They never looked back. On Saturday, Northampton came back from a halftime deficit to beat Saracens 28-24. Saracens came out firing and looked to be in complete control for much of the first half. They went into the break up 19-7 and made it 24-7 early in the second half. With the clock in the red, though, Northampton launched one final attacking flourish. After some strong carries and quick hands, the ball found its way to Tarek Hafar, who brushed off defenders to score his second try of the match right at the death. Definitely impacts the possible final standings, but again, we'll get to that shortly. So, Bath, they were home for Leicester. They smashed the Tigers. Notable tries, it was 43-15. Notable tries came from Ben Spencer, Beno Obano, love Beno Obano, Quinn Rue, Tom Dunn, Will Stewart, Joe Thakanasinga, and the unfortunately named Will Butt. Additionally, Tom Dunn, the Dungeon Master himself, he set a new club record for the most Premiership appearances for Bath. Very cool. On Sunday, it was my Harlequins. They led Exeter by 2 points at halftime, and they still led by 2 points when the game ended. It was 24-22 in a squeaker. The primary storyline of the day was the send-off for Harlequins scrum half Danny Kerr, who received a really warm and emotional farewell from the home crowd in his final game at the Stoop. Harlequins were visibly fired up to get the win for him. My Harlequins tries came from Caden Murley, Will Porter, and, it was a moment of, quote, pure individual brilliance, unquote, from Marcus Smith, who weaved through defenders for a dazzling solo try. Smith also played a crucial role with his calm conversions and a late penalty that kind of secured the win. So, looking forward a little bit, Premiership has a mini break before its final round as it goes onto the shelf during the European finals coming this weekend, but with one round to play, the playoff picture is still a bit cloudy. I haven't talked too much about the Prem this season, but perhaps the biggest story of the year has been the incredible form of Bath. Like, after a strong finish last season, they've built on that momentum and have been consistently at the top of the table for most of the campaign. Under Johan van Graan, they've shown a potent attacking game, obviously, and we'll call it an improving defense. How about that? Frankly, I'm not entirely sure they're serious still, but I'm also not sure who could realistically beat them in a final. So looking at the table, Bath are on top with 71 points off 14 wins and 3 losses. Leicester Tigers, they're second with 56 points off 10 wins, 6 losses, and a draw. Sale Sharks are really surprisingly third with 54 points off of 11 wins and 6 losses. And somehow, beyond all reason, Bristol Bears They're currently fourth with 53 points and a 9-8 record. That means Bath are the only team secure in their place, while the other top three are still in danger. And with Gloucester and Saracens both locked on 51 points, anything is possible at this stage. My Harlequins, the reigning champion Saints, and Exeter and the Falcons are all mathematically eliminated. That means the big matches of the final round will be Gloucester at home for Northampton, who will have nothing to play for, and Bath at home for Saracens, who will be desperate to get in. What kind of side will Bath field? Like, I have a sneaking suspicion the management will be like, let's rest everyone. And then I think Finn's just going to walk into the office and be like, guess what? I'm playing 80. Anyway, switching gears and heading over to France for the top 14, it was round 683, and we were back to a full slate. On Saturday, my Border Beagles, UBB, they took down Cast 34-29. Border Beagles, they managed to hold off a determined Cast side to secure the victory. Cast started strong, scoring 2 tries early through Santiago Arata in the 3rd minute and Matthew Babio, I think it is. That was in the 14th minute. Both converted by Louis Lebrun, putting them up 0-14, but Bordeaux-Bègles, they quickly responded with a flurry of tries from Romain Burros, Maxime Lucu, and my guy Louis Bialbiale, and of course Matthew Jalabert, who also added a penalty and conversions for the first 3 tries. This victory helped Bordeaux-Bègles solidify their second place position in the top 14 standings, while Cast earned a bonus point on defense to stay in that top 6. Really good news for them, I would say. So next up, it was Clermont versus Perpignan. Clermont posted a palindromic scoreline of 31-13 over their guests. The home team's attack was clinical, and they kept Perpignan largely at bay. Bayonne, they snuck one past, almost certainly doomed Vannes, 38-32. Vannes, they showed great spirit to keep the scoreline tight with 4 tries of their own, but couldn't quite reach the win. It feels like the story of the season for them. So next up, Pau. They actually got a notable win against a really strong Toulon side in a hotly contested match. Pau's resilience and ability to capitalize on their opportunities made the difference against a team fighting for a playoff spot, 25-21 by the end. Stade Francais, they just got past Lyon. It was literally as close as you can get, 31-30. Side note, is there a nuttier team than Stade Francais, like anywhere in the world? Like, it's like someone spiked a case of Capri Sun with acid and we all drank 2 or 3 of them. Anyway, the shocker of the round, though, had to be Toulouse dropping a home game to Racing, 35-37. What a result. Racing's attacking play, including 4 tries combined with accurate kicking from Nolan Le Garrec, sealed a memorable victory. Toulouse actually got 5 tries of their own, including a penalty try, but it wasn't enough on a rare day indeed. And then finally, on Sunday, absolutely certifiably bonkers, La Rochelle, they were hosting Parole City, Montpellier. And if any listeners have new photos of Ronan O'Gara not leaving a bus, I would love to see them. The visitors, they stole an early score, but La Rochelle were quick to find their stride and soon took a hefty lead under the beautiful pink and violet skies. It was 23-8 at the intermission, but I did not enjoy the sight of Winnie Antonio sitting awkwardly with a massive knee brace as the second half began. Brace or no, La Rochelle were way too much for their guests, 47-18 by the end. The comm said something vague about the continuance of their resurgence, and I thought, I need to take a look at this table. With only 189 more rounds to go, hope springs eternal. Fly half and very handsome man Antoine Hastoy, he was a standout, contributing 22 points with his kicking. So, as we record this, the top 14 season has, I'm pretty sure, 7,618 more rounds to go. Again, I have to check the math. I'm looking forward to the final that's going to be coming, if my calculations are right, in the year 2171. In fairness, I might be off by a decade or two. Looking at the table in seriousness, Toulouse, they're still well ahead. They've got 85 points, including, get this, 10 try bonus points, 15 other bonus points, both way ahead of every other team, by the way. And then they got losing bonus points in 5 of their 6 defeats this season. Only Racing have more with 6. That sets them 12 points up on UBB at 73. Toulon are 5 points behind that. And a surprising Bayonne team are 4th with 64. La Rochelle, it's true. They have clambered all the way back up. They are in 5th with 57 points. And Cast round out the top 6 with 54, courtesy of that little mini bonus point they got this weekend. That 6th spot, it's anything but secure. However, Clermont, Parole City, Pau, Racing, and Lyon all within 4 points with, in all seriousness, it is 2 more rounds to go. 2 is the actual number. 26 rounds is what they play. Is that a crazy number? I'd be curious what you think. Let me know. If you have any thoughts, always reach out. It seems a little nutty to me, considering when you look at every other competition in the world, but it's France. They do things differently. At the bottom, they theoretically have a chance to leapfrog Perpignan and the pink drink boxes, but they'd have to beat Pau and then beat Bordeaux away on the final weekend. Perpignan and Stade Francais are both flirting with disaster a bit, as they won't want to get sucked into that final death battle in the top 14, but more on that in future episodes. I really hadn't noticed how good Bayonne have been this season, so I poked around a little bit. I found a few key points. One, and this sounds really simple, but I feel like it's an underestimated trait, particularly in this league. They have been showing great game management ability. Like in close games, they make the right decisions under pressure to secure victories, whether it's through crucial penalties, strong defensive sets, or capitalizing on late opportunities. They're a team whose coach must be the proudest in the world. They just do all the little things they're supposed to do, which is weirdly rare, I suppose. But more importantly, they made a significant pickup this summer. A certain Mr. Manu Tuilagi, English international center, who has really come on since joining Bayonne. After struggling with injuries at his previous clubs, the move to France seems to have revitalized him. He's been a powerful presence in midfield, a menace on attack, and the fans love him. Small wonder. So, goes to Danny Kerr. Danny, regular listeners will know I have spent the better part of 4 years having a go at you, making Danny so old jokes like Danny Kerr is so old he used to take the chariot to training, but now you're hanging up your boots and it's all over for me. Mr. Kerr, you know what? If you had ever listened to the show, I'm sure you would have recognized all the stupid jokes were sandwiched in between my talking about how great you are and how much I enjoy watching you play. I will miss making my stupid jokes, but I'll miss seeing you out on the field far more. Danny Kerr, congratulations and best of luck to you. You are this week's Diamond in the Ruck. Well done, sir. Okay. Moving on to our updates and previews. This weekend, we've got our European final. So UBB and Lyon are both looking for some hardware on the French side, and then Northampton and Bath will represent England. I suppose it's fitting that the two Premiership teams left are the finalists from last year, as is UBB for the top 14. I mean, the format in Europe is certifiable, but the cream really did rise to the top, I think. And yes, that could have been a veiled shot. There's, of course, a ton more action all over the globe. We'll be covering all of it. So again, please like and subscribe, spread the word. And as always, thanks for your support. Well, my friends, that does it for another week. I am really enjoying parsing out these different competitions into different episodes. I'm very much, honestly, looking forward to any feedback you might have. And by the way, sorry about the audio snafu at the end of the URC ep. It was my fault. But that was take 5, and I wasn't going to do the whole thing again. To be fair, I can already tell I'm going to go back compulsively and fix it anyway. Anyway, to all of you across the globe, cheers. Talk to you soon, and be well.
It gives me great pleasure to be here today.
Oh, it does, Nate.
You want to tempt the wrath of the whatever from high atop the thing?
I wish I could get up at 11:30 every morning after being out all night God knows where.